All right, we're back with another Prize Picks video. This one's going to be for the MLB slate tonight. Postseason starts today, so a couple game ones. But yeah, we got a lot of heavy board here. Even home run combos is on the board. So a lot of fun plays. We're going to be talking about five, a few pitchers, a couple hitters. But yeah, let's just jump right into it before more of these lines move. I was talking about Jordan Montgomery earlier. He was at 4.0. Unfortunately, he's gone to 4.5. But we'll talk about him a little later. Let's go ahead and start with Brandon Pfaadt at 4.0. Let's go check him out on Outlier. Now you can see it's at 4.5 just because they don't do like the 0.0 lines in other sports books. So we can actually move this to over 3.5, which is a minus 225 to go over 3.5. So really liking that. We got him at 4.0. He's hit that 10 out of 10 last games. So last 10 games he's gone over 4 or more, or hit 4 or gone over that. In 10 straight. He's going up against a Brewers team that is 16th in K rate. So you can see they strike out about 23% of the time. In the last 30, they're doing about the same. If we look at specifically against the Brewers here for Pfaadt, he hasn't played them yet. I wish he had one game in there so we could see him in a few innings against these guys. But if we look at right-handed batting, it seems like a lot of these guys are in the red, at least half of them. So some of these guys hitting worse against righties at least a little bit. So really liking Pfaadt here. Again, the odds are just crazy at minus 225 for at least a push. So Pfaadt's going to be the first play of the day. Next up, we will talk about Jesus. We're also doing his pitching strikeouts. Let's go check him out. Doesn't have the last 10 as strong as Pfaadt, but not a lot of people are going to have that. But let's look at... Is that not how you spell his name? There he is. Luzardo. So we're going to strikeouts here. So 50% of his last 10, but if we extend that a little to the last 20, 12 of the last 20 for 60%, and then 61% for all of 2023. Now he does have a head-to-head matchup. He has 2 this year, and he's gotten 9 Ks and 5 Ks. So just went under in April, but in July he well went over this 5.5 line. And even going back to last year, he had 9 against these guys again. So if we look at the specific matchup as well, looks like he's faced a few of these guys a decent amount of times and a lot of strikeouts to be had. 35% here in 13 at-bats, 33% in 11 at-bats. Bryce Harper's at 55% in 9 at-bats. Even Trey Turner's at 22%. So 44, 75. Kyle Schwarber's at 55. So just a lot of strikeouts to be had. And if we jump into the odds here, not odds, but the K rate, they're ranked 27th, so one of the worst teams against left-handed pitching, 25.3% K rate, and then 24th in the last 30. So pretty bad against left-handed pitchers. If we actually look, here's sometimes these insights pop up on this website. But Luzardo's exceeded 5.5 strikeouts in 7 of his last 9 games on the road against opponents with a winning record. So looks like he does well against good teams also, but just a lot of strikeouts to be had against this Phillies team. So yeah, liking Luzardo over 5.5. Let's keep it rolling here. Let's who's up next. All right, we're going to be talking about Corbin Burnes. This one won't be strikeouts. We're actually going to be going to 17.0 pitching outs. Now this line was at 16.0 yesterday and early today, and then it went to 16.5, and then as I've been making this video, lines have been moving. So he's up to 17 now, but that's okay because I think he's going to go through the 6th inning, which will get him to 18 strikeout or 18 pitching outs. Let's go check him out. Burnes pitching out 16.5, and as you can see here, looks like internet's slowing down here. Let me give it a refresh. Yeah, but he seems to go to this line. He gets to 6 innings a lot. I think for the whole year he's averaging 6.1 innings, so even an extra out in the 6th inning. But yeah, here we go. This is outs. This is over 16.5, so this would be at least for a push for us. And he's got this in 80% of his last 10 games. This one doesn't even count. They pulled him out in the 4th after the 4th inning with 66 pitches thrown. Yeah, 66 pitches thrown in the 4th inning, and he had 0 earned runs. So this one I barely even count. They were just getting him ready for the postseason. And then it seems like when he misses, he just misses. Yeah, 15 here, 15 here. A couple 17s in there for the push, but a lot of 18s. So I expect him to get to the 6th inning or through the 6th inning. This team is a team in the last 30 days they've been hitting horribly against right-handed pitching, ranked 27th with a 22 batting average, but in the whole year they're around 5th or 14th ranked. So very middle of the road for this Diamondbacks team. Do they have any history against him? Yeah, it seems like some of these guys hit poorly against him. Some have hit pretty well. The K rates they don't really matter to us, but yeah, I think he sees through the 6th inning. He's done it in very, very many of his games. Even if we go to 2023 as a whole, it looks like he didn't do it as much early in the year, but he's just been getting to that 17th, 18th out pretty frequently. So I'm liking Corbin Burnes over 17.0 strikeout or pitching outs. 2 more for us here. Let's go to Montgomery. Now this is an interesting one. First of all, he has a taco, so probably take advantage of that for the strikeouts. And then for Montgomery himself, this line was at 4.0, and I really, really, really liked it. It's at 4.5 now, which is okay. I probably would still take it. Let's go check him out. I might like one of his other bets better. He doesn't have a pitching outs one, unfortunately. He does have a K's one. That's what we're going to be talking about, 4.5. He's done this in 70% of his last 10. 75% of his last 20, which is really good to see. And even in 2023, 22 of 32 games, he's gone over this 4.5 line. Now he's going up against a Tampa Bay team. They're middle of the road in terms of K rate, ranked 9th the past 30 days, so they've gotten a little bit better. He doesn't have a specific game against these guys. If we go to Montgomery, oh no, it looks like he does. I guess he's pitched against a few of these guys, but this goes back to 2018. So maybe he's pitched against these guys a while ago. But these guys have smacked him around a little bit, which is why I'm going to be, I think, going for the hits allowed. Again, really good history for the strikeouts. I loved it at 4.0. If you can see the odds here, it was earlier at 4.0 and minus 220. So very similar to Brandon Pfaadt's line. But because it got bumped, we're going to be talking about hits allowed, I think. So again, 72% of his last 32 games, he's gone over this 4.5 hits allowed. The only problem here is that for PrizePicks, it's at 5.0. But I think we're still going to take that 5.0. Again, just based off the history, that might not be going into these betting lines, but he's faced a few of these guys and they've hit him around pretty well. Again, this might have been a few years ago. In terms of left-handed pitching, almost all these guys hit well against or better against lefties, and it's a team that's ranked 6th against lefties and 3rd against lefties with a 312 batting average the last 30 days. So I think Montgomery gives up a decent amount of hits. Now he can get strikeouts while giving up hits as well, as long as he doesn't get absolutely destroyed by these guys. But I like both lines. But for the sake of the video here, in this line just moving as I started to film, let's go with hits allowed, 5.0. And then last but not least, we are going to the batting champion this year. We're going over his hits, runs, RBIs. Let's go check him out. All right, Luis Arraez. And we're going to hits, runs, RBIs. Obviously, this guy has an absolute insane batting average. 354 in the year, and he's even a little bit better against right-handed pitching here at 362. We also like to see that Zach Wheeler pitches a little worse against left-handed batters at 261 batting average rather than his normal 229 batting average. In terms of the history against these two, he has only batted 222 against this guy or against Wheeler in 9 at-bats, so he's gotten 2 hits in 9 at-bats. But again, a few of these other guys are in the green. They have better batting averages against Wheeler. Wheeler's a good pitcher, but a couple of these guys have gotten the hits. And, if Lewis gets in there, gets on base, and gets hit in for a run, that's all we need. And again, just look at this history. 70% of his last 20, 80% of his last 10. In 2023 as a whole. His 2023 as a whole, he's even done this 63% of the time. So really, really liking this 1.5 line for Arraez. And he's going to be our sole hitter for the day at this one. So these are our 5 picks. Pfaadt, Luzardo, Burnes, Montgomery, and Arraez. All overs here. Now, if I did want to give you one under, it would be for Nick Forte, under 0.5 total bases. The reason I'm not doing this together with Luis Arraez is because they play together, and Forte usually bats like 9th, and Luis is usually at the number 1 spot. So it's tough to, bet the total bases on the under for Forte while betting the over on Arraez, because you'd think that maybe you can get an RBI with him on base or whatnot. So, but this would be the extra pick here. Maybe don't play them together. Maybe do. But yeah, we're going to lock in the 5-person bet right here, 20 for 200. But yeah, it should be some fun games. A lot of bets out there, so look at the board. And you don't have to just take this blindly. You can definitely combo it with your own picks. Anything you want for sure. But this is my suggestion for the day. We're locked that in. But yeah, that's going to do it. So watch some baseball tonight. Should be some fun. And yeah, peace out.